Hey everyone, it's Marcus here. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic, types of hackers you won't believe exist. And yes, there's such a thing as a legal hacker. When most people hear the word hacker, they immediately picture someone in a dark hoodie, furiously typing code to break into secure systems for malicious reasons. While that stereotype definitely has some truth to it, the reality of the hacking world is far more nuanced and surprisingly diverse. It's a whole spectrum of individuals with different motivations, skill sets, and, crucially, ethical boundaries. We're going to explore this spectrum, from the outright criminal to those who operate in a moral gray area, and even those who use their incredible skills for good, working to protect the very systems others try to compromise. Understanding these distinctions isn't just interesting. It's becoming increasingly important in our hyper-connected world where digital security affects everyone. You might be surprised to learn about the different hats, literally sometimes these individuals wear and the roles they play. And as I mentioned, we'll specifically look at legal hackers, a term that might sound like an oxymoron to some. But these are the professionals on the front lines of cybersecurity, often hired by companies to find weaknesses before the bad guys do. So stick around as we break down these unbelievable types of hackers and shed some light on what really goes on in the complex world of cybersecurity. It's going to be an interesting one. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the heroes of the cybersecurity world, white hat hackers. These are the individuals you absolutely want on your side. Think of them as digital security guards or ethical problem solvers. Their primary mission is to use their hacking skills, which are often just as advanced if not more so, than their malicious counterparts, to identify and help fix security vulnerabilities in systems and networks. They operate with explicit permission from the owners of the systems they are testing, making their activities completely legal, and more importantly, incredibly valuable. These professionals conduct what's known as penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, and security audits. Essentially, they try to break into systems in a controlled manner, simulating what a malicious attacker might do. The goal isn't to cause damage or steal information, but to find the weak spots. A poorly configured server, an unpatched piece of software, or a flaw in the code, before someone with nefarious intent can exploit them. They meticulously document their findings and provide detailed reports to organizations, along with recommendations on how to strengthen their defenses. It's a proactive approach to security. Many white hat hackers are driven by a strong sense of ethics and a genuine desire to make the digital world a safer place. They might work as independent security consultants for specialized cybersecurity firms, or as part of an in-house security team for large corporations. Their work is crucial in protecting sensitive data, ensuring business continuity, and maintaining the trust of users and customers. Without white hat hackers, our online infrastructure would be far more vulnerable to attack, making them an indispensable part of modern cybersecurity. Now, moving along the spectrum, we encounter the gray hat hackers. This group is a bit more complex because, as their name suggests, they operate in a moral and legal gray area. Unlike white hats, gray hats often hack into systems without explicit permission from the owners. However, their intent usually isn't malicious in the way a black hat's would be. They aren't typically looking to steal data for personal gain or cause widespread damage. Instead, their motivations can vary. Sometimes it's for the thrill of the challenge, to test their skills, or, quite often, to expose security flaws they've discovered. The controversy with gray hats arises from their methods. By accessing systems without authorization, they are, in many jurisdictions, breaking the law. However, after finding a vulnerability, a gray hat might then inform the organization about it, sometimes even offering to help fix it. The problem is, this unsolicited help can be perceived as a threat or even a form of extortion by some companies, especially if the disclosure is public or if they request a fee for their findings without prior agreement. It's a fine line they walk, and their actions can be unpredictable. So while their intentions might sometimes align with improving security, their approach lacks the ethical framework and legal consent that defines white hat hacking. They might believe they're doing a public service by highlighting vulnerabilities that organizations have overlooked, but the unauthorized nature of their actions means they can face legal consequences. It's a tricky space, where the desire to expose flaws clashes with the principles of consent and lawful access, making gray hats a fascinating, if sometimes problematic, part of the hacking landscape. Alright, now we venture into the darker side of the spectrum with black hat hackers. These are the individuals who fit the more common villainous stereotype of a hacker. Their motivations are almost always malicious and self-serving. Black hat hackers intentionally exploit vulnerabilities in computer systems and networks for personal gain, to cause disruption, or to engage in various forms of cybercrime. They operate without any regard for the law or the damage they inflict on individuals, businesses, or even governments. Their actions are unequivocally illegal and harmful. Black hat hackers employ a wide array of tactics to achieve their goals. This can include developing and distributing malware like viruses, worms, and trojans, launching ransomware attacks to extort money, conducting phishing campaigns to steal login credentials and sensitive personal information, executing distributed denial of service attacks to take websites offline, or breaching databases to steal financial information, trade secrets, or personal data for sale on the dark web. The impact of their activities can be devastating, leading to significant financial losses, reputational damage, and serious privacy violations for their victims. These are the adversaries that cybersecurity professionals, including white hat hackers, are constantly battling against. They are often highly skilled and persistent, continuously developing new attack methods to bypass security measures. Understanding the motivations and techniques of black hat hackers is crucial for developing effective defense strategies. They represent a significant and ever-evolving threat in the digital age, making robust cybersecurity practices more important than ever for everyone, from individual users to the largest global organizations. So, we've talked about some highly skilled individuals, but not everyone in the hacking world fits that description. Next up, we have script kiddies. This term is often used, sometimes pejoratively, to describe individuals who use pre-written scripts, tools, and programs developed by more experienced hackers to break into systems or cause disruption. They typically lack a deep understanding of the underlying principles of how these tools work or the complexities of the systems they are targeting. Their knowledge is often superficial, and they rely on readily available software to launch attacks. The motivations of script kiddies can vary. Often it's for bragging rights, to impress peers, to cause minor mischief, or simply out of curiosity to see if they can do it. Because they use existing tools, their attacks are often unsophisticated and easily detectable by robust security systems. However, they can still cause real damage, especially to poorly secured websites or networks. They might deface websites, launch simple denial of service attacks, or try to gain unauthorized access to accounts using common exploits for which patches might already be available but not applied by the victim. While they might not pose the same level of threat as a skilled black hat, script kiddies are still a nuisance and can contribute to the overall noise of cyber threats. Sometimes, a script kiddie might stumble upon a significant vulnerability purely by chance, or their actions, however amateur, can serve as a wake-up call for organizations to tighten their basic security measures. They represent the lower end of the skill spectrum in hacking, but their existence underscores the need for even fundamental cybersecurity hygiene to protect against opportunistic attacks. And finally, this brings us to a category I hinted at in the intro: legal hackers, more formally known as ethical hackers. This is where things get really interesting because these individuals are essentially white hat hackers operating in a fully professional and legally sanctioned capacity. Companies and organizations actively hire these experts to test the security of their own systems. It's a proactive defense strategy. They are given explicit, contractual permission to attempt to penetrate their employers' or clients' digital infrastructure to find vulnerabilities before malicious actors do. These legal hackers perform many of the same activities as white hats: penetration testing, vulnerability scanning, social engineering tests. But it's all done above board, with clear objectives, scope, and rules of engagement defined beforehand. They are the good guys who are paid to think like bad guys. Many ethical hackers hold industry-recognized certifications like the Certified Ethical Hacker or offensive security certified professional, which validate their skills and knowledge in cybersecurity assessment techniques. They are bound by strict ethical codes and legal agreements. The work of legal hackers is absolutely critical in today's threat landscape. By simulating real-world attacks in a controlled environment, they help organizations understand their security posture, identify weaknesses, and implement effective countermeasures. This helps prevent data breaches, protect customer information, ensure regulatory compliance, and ultimately, build more resilient systems. So, when you hear legal hacker, think of a highly skilled, ethical professional dedicated to strengthening cybersecurity from the inside out, playing a vital role in keeping our digital world secure. They are a key part of modern corporate defense. So there you have it, folks. The world of hacking is more diverse than you might think. We've journeyed from the clearly defined ethical boundaries of white hat and legal hackers, through the murky waters inhabited by gray hats, to the outright criminal intent of black hats, and even touched upon the less sophisticated script kiddies. It's clear that the term hacker isn't a one-size-fits-all label. Each type has different motivations, skill levels, and most importantly, a different impact on the digital world we all share and rely on. Understanding these distinctions is more than just an academic exercise. In an era where our lives are increasingly intertwined with technology, being aware of the different kinds of threats and the different kinds of protectors helps us all appreciate the complexity of cybersecurity. It highlights the constant cat-and-mouse game being played and the critical importance of ethical professionals who work tirelessly to keep our data and systems safe. It also hopefully demystifies the term a bit and shows that not all hacking is inherently bad. In fact, some of it is absolutely essential. Hopefully this breakdown gave you a better insight into the fascinating and varied landscape of hackers. The key takeaway is that vigilance, strong security practices, and the work of ethical security professionals are paramount. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tech content. Your support really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.